Hi, I'm Sue.
And I'm Lisa.
We have been teaching for a very long time. Looking back, we realized that we didn't know what we didn't know about being educators. We are simply here to share our stories, and hopefully you'll laugh along with us. The names have been changed to protect the innocent and the guilty.
Hey, Sue.
Lisa, it's been so long.
It has been a while.
I think today people are stressed out, Lisa. People are stressed out.
I limit myself to the news for like 20 minutes a day, and then I get like, okay.
Because it's not going to help a whole lot to debate it or talk about it, but we thought we could laugh about it and do some would you rathers.
Let's do would you rather.
Yeah, so.
And it might bring on some stories.
Maybe we'll think of something as we go. Yeah. And we'll try to avoid the news, but I think some of them are just so funny. I mean, we even saw a child enter the Oval Office, so we have to talk about that. So why don't we start with, let's start with some easy ones. We'll start with the A list, the tame list.
Okay.
Lisa, would you rather have a classroom with no heat in the winter or no air conditioning in the summer? And let's pretend it's year-round school.
Well, okay.
Because we get done in Wisconsin here in May.
I would have to say, I don't mind heat, but I have worked in a school that had no air conditioning.
Well,
ours.
Our school had no AC.
And in the winter, I was always cold. So cold, my hands would turn blue. Until we learned the little trick of wetting the paper towel.
We would wet a paper towel and put it on the thermostat. Oh, man.
Which really, actually, I never did that. That was a terrible thing to do because all you did was bring heat to your room and suck the heat out of everybody else's.
Y'all can do it. Nope, y'all can do it all at the same time, sister. Everybody
I would go with, you can always add more clothing. In a school situation, you can only take off. I'm going with the cold.
Really?
Yeah.
You would just put on layers?
Okay, so would you rather have 30 students with no behavior problems but zero motivation?
Okay, that's every year.
Or 15 kids who are engaged but absolute chaos?
Oh, chaos all the way.
Chaos. Yeah.
I've had huge classrooms of melted pudding children where there's like,
where they just kind of like sit and get, whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Would you rather, well, we've had this. Would you rather teach with no copier machine or a broken bathroom stall door?
I don't want broken bathroom stall door.
Lisa,
if it's the one that I have to go in.
There's a crack right there. They walk up and go,
well,
hi.
That's true. Well, okay. I was looking at like, there's no bathroom to go to.
Oh, I see.
Or a broken copier. I would rather take a broken copier over no toilet.
Just go to Kinko's. I think what they're saying is people would see you. What I'm saying is they can now. We had one half bathroom for 70 people.
Right.
The odds of getting into that thing,
Okay, so would you rather attend a staff meeting that could have been an email or read 40-page district-wide initiative that will be abandoned next year? Oh, yeah, all those. Let's jump on the bandwagon. Oh, sorry.
I would much rather sit with you in the back of a staff meeting and just make fun of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then talk how it could have been an email.
I bet on one hand I could count the staff meetings that actually couldn't have been an email. You know what I'm saying? So most staff meetings could have been an email.
But what's ironic? Want to know what's ironic? You and I would be messing around in the back of the meeting. We'd get done with the meeting, and there was one nugget that we were supposed to learn, and we both go, what did they say?
What did
They better send an email. I don't know. What the heck? Something about wearing shoes outside during a bomb threat? I don't know.
I always hated like when we went to virtual and we had the virtual meetings during COVID, and a lot of people would just kind of click out and just have their little icon, whatever. Yeah. So we had this one meeting, it was actually a training, and the lady said, if you click out and just show your icon, then I'm going to ask you a question. So don't do that. Well, I was sitting there going, oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom so badly. And I'm like, I'm going to have to click out.
Yeah.
Just
take it with you.
Yeah.
You can pee from the face up.
Yeah. You'd hear that. Oh,
you mute.
You might hear my little
mute.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Swishy.
So I'm like, I could do it fast. And I clicked out and I went to the bathroom. I came in. She goes, let's call on Lisa. And I'm like, shit.
What do you want?
Yeah. Is it my turn? Would you rather have no lunch break or have duty every single lunch period?
Well, that's what we
That was life. That's what life of a teacher was.
Retire?
Would you rather get a $500 classroom budget, but only be allowed to spend it on useless curriculum materials?
That's what we did. Only our budget was $120.
Or get no budget, but be allowed to ask parents for
We
help.
did that too.
I don't
know. Whoever wrote these.
Life.
Yeah, life.
I like this one.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Would you rather deal with an unannounced observation from your principal, that was life, or an unexpected fire drill during your best lesson?
Ooh. I would rather deal with an unexpected fire drill during your lesson.
So you get out of it. I mean, it'd still be a good lesson the next day.
It'd still be a good lesson next day. But that unannounced observation, my first year teaching at our school, and I had never taught regular education before because I was a special ed teacher.
And they're just like, here you go.
Yeah, so I'm up at the board having my little board party.
Talk to the board.
Talking to the board. And I turn around and the superintendent's sitting in a desk. And I was just like, oh. My heart sunk. And I was like, oh, hi. And he's like, keep going. Oh, God.
Back when I was a widow teacher, I was 21 or 22 or whatever. And my principal was an older woman, like probably my age, like in her 60s. And she was very refined. She always wore Pendleton wool skirts and so on. And she wore heels. And she would walk like a stork.
Yes. Yeah.
She'd walk in like, don't mind me. I'm like, oh no, because they all were unannounced back.
Yeah, the clickety clicks. Oh yeah,
clickety clickety click. Mm-hmm.
Would you rather deal with a parent who thinks their child is perfect? These are just life.
I didn't.
Okay,
I got this list online, so I apologize.
Would you rather deal with a parent who thinks their child is perfect, or a student who thinks you're their personal therapist?
So now I think, do they think the child? I'm the child's therapist or the parent's therapist? Because usually I was the parent.
Or a student who thinks you're their personal therapist.
Often I was the parent's therapist. I had a lot of parents who wanted to talk to me.
And pretty much every parent thinks their child is perfect. Although every once in a while you'd get like a sibling and they're like, wait till you get Johnny. Yeah. And they're always fine.
The thing is, the difference between back when we were in school was if the teacher said something to our parents, it was just the gospel. This is the truth. And now they don't take your side. I mean, there are a few times that they go to the principal and to complain. Would you, Lisa, rather grade 100 essays in one weekend or chaperone a middle school dance?
Absolutely chaperone. Oh, grading papers.
No.
I don't mind grading papers so much, but grading writing with all the rubric stuff. I don't miss that.
It took 10 minutes a paper easy. So 100 times 10 is 1,000 minutes.
You were younger grades. I had some Miss Lily, who I heard you ran into.
Oh, Lily, our student.
Yes.
Lily K.
Yeah, well, she'd write like 25 pages.
Lily K, we know you listen, and it was great to bump into you.
I wish I would have.
You're an excellent writer.
Yes.
Write me a letter.
Would you rather deal with an entire week of school-wide Wi-Fi outages or have the district block every useful website overnight? I don't think that either one would bother me.
I don't either. The thing that I didn't like when they would block stuff, we would get something like Prodigy, which was an amazing math website, and they would just block it.
Yeah.
They treated us like, are you playing a game? I'm like, no, I'm teaching my children how to do algebra.
You know what, though? We taught for so many years without internet and without TV or any of that stuff. I could easily teach without any of that.
It was hilarious. I was an interventionist for the afternoon.
Interventionist?
Yes, and it's fun. I have a little bag that I bring subbing still with just a few little things in there. And one is an egg timer, a sand timer. And I was working one-on-one with this child, and he was supposed to read for 2 minutes.
Sure.
And they have all these fancy timers that they use their cell phones. And I took out this egg timer, and I go, okay, go. And I flipped it over, and he was just staring at the sand.
What is that?
And I go, oh, honey, stop looking at the blue sand. You got to read. So I just think having analog stuff, it's really fun. Kids nowadays, I've heard this is true, but people are looking for things like that aren't the handheld flat devices. They're looking for playaways.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Low tech MP3 players where you just all it did was play your downloaded music.
Right.
And like single use things. So we're heading back that way.
Yeah. Would you rather have a student projectile vomit in your classroom or have a mouse run across your desk?
Oh, a mouse. Mice are so cute. I had them in cages. Mice are not dirty.
I know you had mice. That's a callback to the story when your mouse went down my back.
Yes. Vomit is disgusting and you have to clean.
And then I throw up too. So
I'm a mouse.
I hate mice.
All right. Well, let's get a little more savage.
Would you rather?
Would you rather, Lisa, get a 2% pay raise, which that would be remarkable.
How many years do we go with absolutely no pay raise?
I think it was minus.
I love looking at my Social Security. It tells you every year what you made. And it was a good 8 years.
I think it was 7, yeah.
7 or 8 years where it stayed the same or it went backwards. Or have jeans day.
We just got to wear jeans.
My last year, I think I wore jeans like every 3 days a week.
Oh, yesterday? I have some black sweatpants, but they look like dress pants because that's what old people do, people.
Comfy pants.
Comfy pants. They were really attractive black pants, but and I wore black tennis shoes. But there, again, they look kind of nice. And then I had a newer shirt.
Bedazzled. No.
Yes, full of glitter shirt. And somebody came up and said, wow, you're dressed real fancy. And I thought, okay. And everybody in that school was in jeans.
Do you remember the 90s and early 2000s?
Dresses.
I always wore dresses and skirts and heels and that last few years I was wearing sweatshirts and jeans. No.
Oh, yes.
Well, to go back, I would rather have a 2% pay raise than jeans.
Would you, Lisa, rather be required to read and prove you read a 50-slide PowerPoint on self-care for the wellness team, or get 15-minute lunch breaks where you have to inhale a granola bar while answering emails?
Well, I always had 15-minute lunch where I had inhaled a granola bar and answered. So that was life. So I would just go with that because I was used to that. But
wellness is pretty funny because they would have these wellness requirements, which is the opposite. What's the opposite of wellness? You have to do something for yourself.
Yeah, those little things we'd have to go through for our insurance.
Oh, or your insurance would go up.
Or you'd go up. If you did not have an under 35-inch waist.
Yeah, and if you did not attend some wellness activity in your district, we're going to charge you $500.
Yeah. Would you rather be asked to implement a new revolutionary curriculum every year, holy shit, or be told, we're cutting support staff, but we know you'll figure it out?
Well, that's fun. We always did that, Lisa. I don't want a new revolutionary.
Support staff, upper grades, we didn't usually get much.
No. So yesterday, I had to follow a scripted program for phonics.
Just started, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was something. And it was awful and tedious. And as soon as I just put a little spark in there, I said, would you like to lead this next section? Mm-hmm. This kid, he started vibrating. He was so excited. Yeah. So
I get to do something?
Okay. Would you rather be expected to teach kids resilience while your salary qualifies you for food stamps,
or have to explain why teachers are quitting in droves to someone who thinks it's about summers off?
Well, I think that's just a rock and a hard place because my kids did get Pell Grants on my salary. And I'm thinking, how can I not have enough money to send my kids to college? It's very depressing.
I'm curious what you think about this. Would you rather fight for basic funding every year or just start a GoFundMe every time you need pencils? I have mixed feelings about that. I know that people will do those and ask for money.
Or the Amazon wish list.
The Amazon. I don't like that. I kind of have a problem with that, and I know a lot of people do it, and you're kind of forced to do that now because our budget was $125. Right. That was for the year.
That's for all.
And I had 30 plus students.
Dry erase markers.
Yeah, so 30 plus kids, you get $125. That was the budget. So the other 600, 700, 800 was supplemented by me out of my pocket, which I didn't have to. I could have stuck to that tight budget, but I wanted to have better experiences, so I would just pay. I think you can be creative on that budget. However, I think that would be more like hitting it at the school level. You got to give us more money than this.
The early 2000s, 2010s, we had quite the list of supplies. Every teacher was different. Every grade level was different. Right. We would ask for wipes. We would ask for tissues. We would ask for Expo markers.
Right,
and
we
Sharpies.
Would get those things from parents.
But then it went too far. It's just like anything. The pendulum went too far.
And then parents are like, we're not buying all this stuff. All third grade teachers in the whole district had to have the same list.
And it was, you may get 24 crayons. You were not supposed to bring in the big 128 box of crayons. No. And we were supposed to send it home. We didn't. And that was harsh because you kind of had these lessons that you did that you needed something.
Right.
And we tried to teach after school classes, and those got really expensive.
Yeah. And I think parents were always really appreciative. They knew we were bringing our own. Parents were always like, I really appreciate, like a lot of times at the beginning of school, you're like, let us know what you need. It's kind of like a rock and a hard place, like you said, because you need the funding to teach and be creative and to create those experiences for the kids. But then it seems like you're begging. What are you supposed to do? Pay out of your own pocket?
Lisa, we should do some now that, like, let's burn down the house. Okay?
Burn down the house.
The would you rather
Burning down the house.
apocalyptic, no hold barred. Lisa, would you rather have Elon Musk's son put a booger on your desk every day for 181 days, or have a kid puke on your desk once a month?
Oh my God, neither.
I wrote that one, and you have to.
You know what?
You know the rules.
You know what?
What?
Normally, I would be apt to say the booger, but since it's his son and I saw what a little he was, no, I'd go with the puke.
Puke once a month. Okay. So
because you know what I would do?
9.
I would just cover my desk with plastic after the puke, roll it up, put it away. But no, little not going to put a booger on my desk.
No boogers. Okay.
Okay, I got one. Would you rather be required to end every lesson with, let's make education great again? Okay. Or have your students' grades determined by how many Twitter likes their assignments get?
Oh, definitely the Twitter, because they aren't a lot on Twitter. But yeah, I like that one.
Can you imagine how many likes kids have to post their assignments? Yeah. Sue, would you rather teach in a school where the superintendent determines funding by spinning a giant wheel of fortune? Oh, that'd be awesome. I
like that.
I think that'd be kind of fun.
Okay, or where the PTA has to organize gladiator-style bake sales to afford pencils. Oh, man. Let's see. That's a toughie.
As long as the wheel, you would get some funding, even if it's like 10%, 20% or whatever.
And it also wasn't a cheat wheel, because I could just see that.
Right. Yeah, I don't bake. Have you ever seen me bake?
Wow.
No.
You've never baked?
No.
Why don't you bake?
It's terrible. I can take a recipe and follow it, and the cookies will still just melt all over. Yeah, I'm terrible at baking.
Do you use all butter?
I just follow a recipe. I'm a terrible baker. I'm telling you. They're either burnt or raw.
We're going to have cooking with Lisa.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Would you rather be required to teach state-mandated curriculum by Margie Taylor Greene? Oh, God. They're shooting lasers. Or have all science textbooks replaced with a stack of old Twitter screenshots labeled "Do Your Own Research."
Oh, Twitter.
Oh, I know. You know, sadly, it might get to that.
This is a good one. Would you rather have your district's entire curriculum rewritten by an AI that has been trained by Joe Rogan?
Oh, God.
Or have your principal replaced with a TikTok influencer who only communicates through viral dance trends?
Can you imagine?
I could see our principal being a TikTok dancer.
I don't know. Would you rather teach in a classroom so overcrowded that students have to sit on the floor? Okay, which we were pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Or one where you have to share a single expo marker with the entire math department.
Oh, a single, because we could use chalkboards, we could use blood, we could figure it out. Just everybody pick your finger, okay? Write your answers.
Crayons. Do you remember we had this math program that came with math boards?
Oh, yeah.
And the kids all got a little expo marker. Yeah. And they'd get one expo marker every semester. Yeah, so they don't last very long. In my classroom, we had a rule like, put your marker to sleep, and they'd have to tap it and put it, right?
I would even say, put it by your ear and click it.
Yeah, so I'd say put it to sleep, and they all had a little Kleenex, and they could put it to bed, so they wouldn't doodle. And if they doodled, and they still would doodle, or they'd sit and color in, and I'm like, you guys, if you doodle, I'm taking your marker for the day, and you got to go get a crayon. And the kids would literally do the walk of shame. Yeah. They'd walk over, their heads would be slumped, their shoulders, their arms hanging. They'd be like, no, not the erasable crayon. I thought, I'm going to buy all these erasable crayons. They were all different colors, but they were so hard to erase. Yeah. And the kids had to scrub to get those off, right? But the funny thing is, they hated those crayons so bad. Yeah. And then they'd start to steal mine from the chalkboard. And I'm like, hey, that's my expo marker. And they're like, no, I brought these from home. So then I'm like, how am I going to trick these little kids? So then at the bottom, they have that those little spike things. Yeah. I would take a black marker and I would color that in black.
That was yours.
Then I knew it. And they're like, no, I brought it from home. And I'd go and like, look at this. There's a black mark. That's mine.
I've heard cigarettes are the currency in prison. Expo markers are the currency.
But we had to try everything.
Here's a good one, Lisa.
Okay.
Would you rather have your salary for the month paid entirely in school spirit t-shirts, or have your health insurance replaced with Thoughts and Prayers wellness plan? Our thoughts and prayers.
I'm
and
so
prayers.
sick of that. You know, you see, hear
thoughts and
something.
prayers.
Oh my gosh, I refuse. Like, yeah.
No thoughts, no
These
prayers.
terrible things happen, and they're like,
Thoughts.
sorry, thoughts and prayers. Oh, yeah, right. Take your thoughts and prayers and
Beep, bop.
Beep, beep, beep,
Yeah.
beep. It's so non-meaningful.
See?
Would you rather have your school's entire music and arts program replaced with mandatory exports and crypto trading?
Oh, crypto.
Or have the cafeteria only serve Lunchables because the food budget got slashed
Oh,
again?
Lunchables all the way. Yesterday they had the blue
Of that
slushy.
slushy.
And all the
Slushy
kids, it's just really hard to take them seriously.
I love it. They come
They're
back
blue.
with their whole upper lip was blue. I loved it. You know, it's going to be Easter in a month or so, but do you remember those little Easter eggs, those little ones?
The malted milk
did
egg.
you ever lick them and then
I
put
do to this
lipstick?
day. To this day.
Yeah, so every year I would give
day.
the kids that and I'd show them how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then every once in a while, you know, they'd be walking around with all these like blue lips and stuff. And parents would be like, thanks, that's fun.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, Lisa, we're just going to do a speed round.
Speed round. Speed round. Okay, hit me with some, Sue. Hit me with them.
Lisa,
Hit me.
would you rather have a kid who only speaks in whispers or only communicates through interpretive dance?
I see dead people.
She's going to go with the whisper.
No.
Go on with the whisper.
No, I like them both. I would love to have that.
Okay.
Interpretive dance.
Lovely. Okay. Lisa, would you rather have a student who insists on calling you Lisa or who raises his hand every time you open your mouth?
Well, I've had that. I've lived through that.
Yeah,
raising-
both. Yeah. Huh?
But not calling me by my name.
You don't want that?
I really wouldn't. I think I didn't like calling kids friends. And I don't think that they should call me by my first name. They could call me Miss J or they could call me whatever. I've been called Dad and Grandma, and Grandpa,
Grandma. Oh, yeah.
Uncle John. But
Would you rather have to call your students friends
Oh, God.
or enemies? I just wrote that one. Can you? Never mind. Okay.
You're my enemy. Enemies, it's time to line up.
Would you
But I
rather
don't like the dear friends.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Stop it. Okay. Would you rather have a Madagascan hissing cockroach?
Oh, God.
Or a tarantula?
I hate them both.
Or-
I would much rather have a tarantula than a Madagascar hissing cockroach.
Cockroach, okay.
There's nothing grosser than cockroaches. I'm
Okay.
sorry. They'll.
Would you rather have duty during a blizzard or duty the day after Halloween?
After Halloween.
Yeah, they bring you candy.
I love
They
it.
bring you little.
I always tell them.
Bring it. Yeah, give me the. I'll enjoy. I like them.
Oh, right, mine's M&M's.
Kids-
Give me a little snack.
Yeah,
little-
but see, kids don't like coconuts. I'm like, bring it. That's how I got to
the
love
kids know
coconuts.
I liked M&M's, so they'd always like, I got you
Aw.
some M&M's.
That's
Thank you.
good. Okay, we're still
Okay,
going.
keep going.
Okay, we're still going fast. Okay. Would you rather get sneezed at once a day
Oh, God.
or have to untie 20 pairs of wet shoelaces?
Untie 20 pairs of wet
Okay.
shoelaces. I don't.
Would you, I've had to do this. Would you rather have to detangle 20 earbuds or, have you ever done that?
Yeah, I just cut
It's
them.
terrible.
Just throw them
I
away.
just throw them away. Or you have to keep sharpening 50 pencils.
I'd rather sharpen 50
I would too,
pencils.
especially
You know, speaking of the
electric.
sneezing,
So easy. That's
I
easy.
had kids, they'd come up, I don't feel, they'd sneeze in your face and you're
Yeah,
like, oh
right
yeah,
in your
that,
mouth.
that's so getting me.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Would you rather have a class that has basically Alzheimer's and forgets the directions immediately, which they always do that
Yeah,
too?
yeah.
Or ask, can I go to the bathroom every 3 minutes? So they forget everything or they need to go to the bathroom. These are terrible.
I'd rather have them go bathroom, I guess.
Spill-
Because I could always say no.
Okay.
I would just hold up a sign. No.
Okay. Would you rather have a kid spill their entire milk in your crotch
Ooh.
or get gum in your hair? That's a tough one.
Oh my God. These are good.
These are good. Thank you.
I would gum in the hair.
Really?
Oh yeah. I just shave the off.
I have something to
I'm
play.
just kidding. I would just cut it out. Oh, milk in the crotch. You know how that smells?
Especially chocolate. For a while, they had strawberry. I don't know what your problem is, people. Just drink the milk.
I remember I spilled milk on my pants when I was a little kid.
I
and-
think we had that on the
we might have, yeah. And the smell is terrible.
It's terrible. I think that'll do it, Lisa. I think
Oh
we've
my
been
gosh.
successful with Would You Rather. Have you all been distracted from what's going on in the world? we had a few, putting boogers on desks. You just can't think about boogers anymore without thinking about that. Everybody, stop
Do
thinking
you know
about
what's funny? We had the Resolute desk,
He had to take it
removed
out. Because
of a booger. He would have never survived in an elementary classroom. If he couldn't handle one booger on his desk and he had to have it specially cleaned, he would never have survived in a classroom.
And I've been watching the Traitors. It's kind of like Survivor. Any of these shows ever had a show called The Apprentice. And I swear to you, go back and listen to our game show that we did. It was in 3 parts. It would just be truly astoundingly fantastic to have all of those contestants lined up to be a teacher.
Yeah.
It would be all the people in politics. I don't care what side of the aisle. They're all there.
Yeah.
Because they would just take a booger and just smear it on there. Like they'll come up to you and give you a hug and you can feel like rubbing something on your back. So go back if you haven't and listen to our game show. And this time just picture that it's these
We should do another game show.
They wouldn't do it. They couldn't. They would just leave.
Yeah. Like our friend who got puked in her purse.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He should have took that purse and I didn't need that money.
Honey, you're going to have to buy me a new car. I lost the keys.
I don't have keys anymore. Yeah, I can't puke down my car. I had to throw it away. Well, Lisa, I don't know how long we've been talking about Would You Rather.
I don't know. What I think is funny with these, that some of them were a real situation for us.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Well, we had that. It wasn't a hard choice because, we had already lived through a lot of those. Okay, this was really fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun to get together and laugh. I feel better. Yeah, get rid of all the stress of the world for just a few minutes.
I challenge all of you, do not listen to the news on your drive back to your home. Listen to some podcasts. Preferably, We Didn't Know What We Didn't Know, because
we rock.
And we know a lot of things that we didn't know before. We don't know more than you do, listener, but we know more than we didn't know before. What? We know what we didn't know when we were younger. Yes. And our knowledge is your knowledge.
Oh, God. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to our podcast. We didn't know what we didn't know. We'll see you next time.